Nof Klibber, hi friends. Darth Momo here to talk about Andor. I know I'm a little late on this, but that's part of the catch-up game. Andor, I thought, was really good. In hindsight, of course. So starting out, I actually, just because I had a lot going on in my personal life, I was just very busy between work. I got engaged. I had a trip coming up. There was not a lot of time for me to sit down and actually watch Andor, so I didn't actually get to watch it until the first 6 episodes were out, and I binged the whole thing. And I'm glad I did, because the first 3 to me, they were enjoyable, but it was very slower paced, but it wasn't holding my attention the way like Game of Thrones did. And I didn't think there was just this explosive, climax in the 3rd episode that everyone else described. It was definitely a climax, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm hooked, I'm on board. It was just, okay. It felt very brief, the climax of it. So I watched then I watched the 4th and the 5th episode, and they were okay. It was just kind of like, okay, the plot's just dangling along. And then after the 6th episode with the Aldani heist, that's when I'm like, okay, I enjoyed that. I'm liking the show more now. That was, to me, kind of the hooking point. And then the prison arc was one of the best stories I have seen in all of Star Wars to this day. And I've pretty much watched everything. As of recording this, everything that's come out I have seen, except for Young Jedi Adventures. I saw all the vintage collection. I've seen all the animated shows. I've seen all the Lego. And this was probably one of the most top-tier moments in Star Wars. At first, I was like Kino Loy, standout character for sure. When I first saw him, I was like, okay, this is just the standard prison guy, whatever. And then we delved more into the prison. And by the end of the 9th episode, when Cassian says, how many guards? And he goes, never more than 12. It has been a long time since I have felt such hype like that. And it lived up. Unlike some other projects that didn't live up to their hype, that lived up. And the 10th episode, I think it's called One Way Out, but the 10th episode where they break out was one of the best things I have seen out of Star Wars. Definitely one of the best things I've seen out of Disney Star Wars, and I would say the best thing out of Disney Star Wars in 2022. It was awesome. It was great. I loved it. Andy Serkis killed it. Diego Luna did great. And the finale, while I didn't love the last 2 episodes as much as the prison arc, the finale was still good, and I would call it overall satisfying payoff. Andor's writing was really well done, especially in the latter half of the season. Andor had very great acting. It was very mature. Some standout characters, Luthen was great. Genevieve O'Reilly did great as Mon Mothma, and I loved her plot line where that was going. I loved, seeing Andor. Like I said, the prison was great. I love seeing kind of the nastier side of the Empire and the more political side too, with the Senate and especially the ISB. Those were some really fun scenes. I can't wait for season 2. I don't have too much to say about Andor because it was, simply put, great. I don't think season 2 will probably live up to season 1. I guess it depends on what you're looking for. I think season 2 I was almost going to have to open up a bit more to the wider galaxy. And I know for some people that might be a turnoff. I think I'll still like it. I'm okay with that. But I don't think that you're going to top the highs of season 1. And I don't know if Disney Star Wars is going to do another project that will top Andor. I think Andor was really good. Like I said, I still thought that the first couple episodes were slower. I'd probably like them a bit more if I rewatched it. So I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to give Andor a 9 out of 10. It's not a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't think there's a lot of stuff that I would give a 10 out of 10. I could go back and forth between an 8 or a 9, but when I'm feeling good about Andor, I'm giving it a 9. If I rewatched it and I really didn't care for those first few episodes, I probably would give it an 8. So I guess it just depends what my final thoughts are on the episode. So you know what? I'll middle it out. I'll give it an 8.5. Definitely look forward to season 2 of Andor. I know that got delayed with the shutdowns. So we'll see how the the shutdowns and the strikes impact, and we'll be here for when Season 2 comes out. Otherwise, thank you guys for joining in. Darth Momo out. May the Force be with you. Always.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, comment down below and hit that like button. Oh, and check out some of my other videos. I'm sure you'll find them a delight.